Record. Okay, so this is introduction to lights and cameras. So first thing we want to do is we want to establish our view. So we want to say, hey, like this is our view, this is what we're going to see, and this will determine how our lighting goes. So let's say I have this view right here, and let's say it's great. I love the way this looks from this angle right here. And let's say I don't want to move it. Like this is a perfect view for a camera, right? Now, there's a way that we can create a camera in Maya where I go to create camera and I click on camera, and then now there's a camera in the middle of the world, right? And I can look through this, right? But fortunately, in the last few years, they got smart and they have a better way to create a camera, and that's going to view, create camera from view. So now if I click on this, what happens is this comes in. It says PRSP1, right? This means that this is my new camera that was made. If I go to panels, perspective, there's PRSP1 and there's PRSP. This means perspective, and this is like perspective 1. So it made another camera from our default camera, which is regular perspective. So first thing off the break, always do this. Name it. RENDR. Name it render cam. I like to do this. 01. If you want to be cool, you know what I'm saying, you can change to a K, you know, whatever, right? So there's my camera, right? Now, if I click over here on channel box, you see these controls because this is for render cam. So this is saying that this is in this position in the world, right? And all this other stuff over here does not matter, or at least I don't touch it. All right. So right now we're in render cam, and you know you're in it because you can see it right here. So it's just like when we go to one of these views and it says front, we know we're in it because the name is on the bottom. So let's make sure we're actually, our camera's selected because we're selecting it here, but when you're moving around, you can't actually like select, like we can select this and we can select our camera from here. But if we want to make sure we're selecting our camera, we hit this little camera button right here. So this makes sure that I'm selecting the camera at all times. Select this, selecting that, selected all this, select this, I'm on the camera. I'm on my current camera. So that's what it means. Now, let's say I love my view and I don't want to like move it around or I don't want to mess it up, right? I want to lock it. I want to lock this view so I can have it here to take the picture. I want to lock this view so I can have it here to take the picture of, to do my rendering, but I don't want to move the camera. So I click on this to make sure I'm selecting my camera, and then I click on this one right now after it. This is lock camera. I click on this. Now, if you look over here, all of these just turn gray. I'll click on it again just to show you. All right. So what this means is that these are all locked and they can't move. So now I'm in my camera and I can't move. I can't move like I'm trying to pan in Blender. I'm just playing. But yeah, I can't move, right? So now this is basically like a camera on a tripod, right? So now if I go back into perspective, I see my camera there, right? But now I'm out here working. So just literally think about it like like it's on a tripod. And of course we could like animate and everything. We're not going to animate this one, but we could if we wanted to. It doesn't matter how big it is, you know, it's just kind of there to represent. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Yeah,
Sorry, that's me.
Oh, it's no problem. Just to, you know, represent the camera and the position. Okay. So that's important. So now let's get into light types. To view our lights, to see our lights, we can go to Arnold. And there's some lights right here, but I don't really like clicking them off the shelf. It's just unintuitive to me. So I'd like to go to Arnold and then go to Lights. So now we have the nice list of Arnold Lights. So let's go to our first one, which is area light. So I'll click on this. Oh, am I bugging? Click on this, and if I press F, we can see there's a plane and it has a little stick right here. So this stick represents the direction of the light. All right. And if I go like this, scale it up, we can, make it rectangular. We can make it thin like this. We can make this any type of, I won't say any type of shape, but it's, we can manipulate it. So now that this light is here and it's facing this way, we don't see any effects, right? I never do this, but I want to see if it would work. If I click on this right here, would this work? Oh, okay. So I don't suggest I kind of don't mess with these controls like this. So what I did is I clicked on this light, so it kind of shows the lights in the scene. Now, if I go over here to exposure, now here's how you crank the light, the brightness in this light. You never touch intensity. Intensity is either at 1. 1 just means it's on. 0, you can say it's off. But I just would just always keep it at 1. Exposure is what you want to mess with. So what I like to do is I like to crank this up real high. I like to do it when the render is on, but I'll just do it in this just to show you. So we can see what the light's doing, right? This is at an exposure of 15, and the lower I bring it down, you can see the effect that it has, right? So overblown, wow, okay, now we're in a good zone, okay? So like I said, I don't usually do that. I just kind of put my lights in the scene, and I test my lights a different way, but you can do that. So here's how I test my lights, right? I go to this play button right here called render. And for those of y'all who have Render Man, if you did get Render Man, I'll go with it through Render Man, but I forget who needed that. But if you don't have it, at least get it for next class, if anything. So I'm gonna click on this right here, and this is basically the application. Get out of here. It's not coming up. Wait, let me stop sharing, see if it comes up. I'll stop this. I'll click on this now. No. Okay. So what's the workaround with this? Let me go to rendering standard. Okay. So I just went to Arnold and I clicked on that play button, and now it came up now. Let's see if I take it back to standard. But oh, it disappears. Yo, this is so strange. Okay. Because usually that window could pop up anytime as long as you know, it just didn't matter, but now I guess it matters. Okay. So let's look and see what's happening. So yeah, there goes the effect of my light. Right now, that this light, if I move this, nothing happens. I mean, nothing happens here, right? Because this just rendered it one time. If I click on this play button right here, this now is a square for stop, So it's like those old CD players or tape players. Y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So now that this is on, if I move this, it moves with it, right? Now here's the thing. This is very computationally expensive. So your computer might go, you know what I'm saying? Make a crazy noise with the fan and turn on and start getting hot because it's like working, right? So you want to have this plugged in while it's working. But also what you want to do is, if I want to move this sphere, I should not have this window open, right? So, I mean, not, you can have it open, but you should stop it, then do what you need to do, then play. Because if this thing is on while you're trying to move, you'll feel the slowdown. If you can see mine, it's like kind of like lagging. All right. So if you got a good computer, it ain't gonna be a thing, but you would still want to like turn it off. All right. Stop right here. So let's go into this light some more. This light is now a quad, which means a four-sided shape. So I can go to cylinder, which will give a different look. Now check this out. Let's say I want to see what a cylinder looks like versus my quad. I can go to this camera right here, click on this, and it takes a snapshot. So it takes like a memory of this or saves the picture. So I've pressed play now. This is my new one with the cylinder. So what if I want to compare compare the two? I can just click on this. And if this eyeball is on right here, well, you know what? I'll just snapshot this one too. So if I click on this and click on this, these are my two previous snapshots. Now, if I want to go back to regular render, I just click off of this, and now I'm back on regular render time, and I can change this to a disk now and see what the effect is. Okay, so now that rendered, if I want to take a snapshot, click on the camera, quad, cylinder, disk. So you can also see the effect of, I mean, even though I move the camera, of three different shapes and how they react to the scene. Okay. We have color right here, so I can click on this and I can say, hey, I want it to be red. Oh, look, we can't see it, right? Because the eyeball's on. Click off the eyeball, and now we're seeing the real deal, right? So I can mess with my exposure, you know, and now we're seeing this red, right? And I can do this with, you know, these other colors, of course. What I like to use instead, though, I'll turn this back to white, is something called color temperature, and this works on the Kelvin scale. So, yeah, when I'm in my place, I just said this earlier today. I mean, in the office, I had a nice warm light like this. So the farther to the left, the warmer it is. The farther to the right, the cooler. And what I like to do is I like to just tap along this and find that nice color. You know, sometimes it could be warmer or what. So my office, right, it had this light that was like this. Oh yeah, it was just like that. So it was my office and it was like Tony's office. I mean, they were both empty. I could have chose either one. So I'll go to this one because it was smaller, but I liked the light. It was nice and warm. And because Tony's was like kind of had that cold doctor's office kind of feeling, and I was like, oh, I just felt cold being in there, you know. And then one day Howard just came in and gave me a blue light, like out of nowhere, like I didn't ask for it. And I just, yeah, couldn't believe it. Didn't even ask them. But yeah. So warm is usually, you know, reds, yellows, oranges, like the sun, and cool is usually um cold, yeah, like bluish kind of color. I did this today. Just so you get the idea.
So is doing that and choosing the first thing you chose, the light bulb, is that like preference or um
What do you mean?
like the first way you showed us how to do it and you said that's not the way you do it versus
Uh,
the way you actually do it? Like is that just for preference or is there like a big difference in
what exactly was I doing? Because I'm trying to the
you click
lighting.
yeah, like you click the light bulb on the um top of the screen, I guess, on the panel. The
Oh
first
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, you can do that if you like. I just don't do that because what matters the most is the render, right? It's not really like what you see in the viewport. So I don't rely on the viewport to tell me what to do, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so sunny days, well, I guess that looks kind of cooler, but if I go to winter, oh no, it's not showing good winter stuff. But yeah, it's just cooler, more blues, uh, yeah, so more blue kind of colors, less like warm, saturated color. I mean, this has a little bit of it, but that's like funny miss. Most of the time, it's like cold days are just like blue. Well, anyway, let me go back here. Uh, yeah, cold days are bluer. So, but the main thing with this is you want to stop it. So if it ever is going, you want to stop. Oh, and check this out too. Right now, if I press play, I'm moving around, right? I'm in my perspective, right? It just says shape, but it means perspective camera. If I click on this, look at that, render cam, right? So now I'm in my render cam, the camera that can't move, that's on the tripod, but now I'm in this mode, still doing my thing. You get what I'm saying? So you would go in here, you would do the work, and you would keep your camera on a tripod. So, yeah, that's basically how this works. But as you can see right now, I'm like trying to move stuff and it's like freezing because this is on. So if I stop it, now I can go in here and get like that fluid kind of fast response again. And then once I'm done doing that, I can like, bring it back. Okay, so check this out. This is the one light. This is a, what was this light? This was, I'm just gonna move this to the side. I'm not even gonna risk minimizing it. That was area light, right? So there's sky dome light. Um, first I'll do mesh light instead of sky dome light. So a mesh light. So what is mesh light? Well, first I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna select all my objects. I'm gonna give it like a little test material. So I'll do assign new material, Arnold, AI standard surface. So let's see what an Arnold render looks like. Let's snapshot this, do a play. Looks a little nicer, right? So this is, wait. This was our old one. This is our Arnold one. No, wait. That's not my Arnold. Oh, I have to turn off the eyeball. Ha. Almost got myself. All right, so I'll snapshot this. So this is old Maya, new Maya, right? I mean, not Arnold, with Arnold. So Arnold, when it comes with the Arnold materials, our flexions are gonna come. It's just gonna work faster. It's just what it's made for. Um, damn, close my window. Oh, okay, it's back up. It's almost like I have to be in a certain context, I guess, for these things to work right. But yeah. So yeah, that's what this. Let me tone this down a bit. Let's make it like 8 or something like that. Yeah. Now check this out. Let's say I had a light bulb and I wanted to make that light bulb a into a light, right? Like let's say I have a lamp or something. I'll do that with this piece right here. So check this out. To make an object a light, I mean to make an object a yeah, to make an object a light. You go to Arnold, Lights, and click on Mesh Light, right? So I have it selected and I clicked on Mesh Light. Now if I press R to render, I mean not R to render, click on that to render, let's see what it's doing. Okay, I don't see anything. But if I go over here to exposure, this is what I like to do to test out my lights. I'll put in 25, right? So look, that's way overblown, right? That's super strong. So now I put in 15, still super strong. Now I put in 10, starting to dial it down a bit, back a bit. But look at what's happening, right? We have one light in our scene already. Now we have another light right here. And look at what it's doing. We can kind of see the effect. But like, let's say if I wanted to see it. So we can see what it looks like here. I'll snapshot this. But if I want to see it, I can click on this light visible. Now I'm actually seeing the geometry. All right, so this is how you make a mesh light. And then I can do something like click on color temperature right here. Let's make it a little bit warmer, right? So I'm just like tapping along. And you notice I'm not like sliding and letting go. Oh, I guess it's not that bad. Before that used to be a problem. That's why I always just like tap and hit it. But oh, okay. All right. Ooh, look at that. That's one of those happy accidents, like Bob Ross. Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm digging this. Yeah. Um. So let's stop this, take a snapshot, and look. And then this right here just shows our progression. So it's like whack, you know, it's pathetic. It's kind of all right. It's getting a little better. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Get what I'm saying? So it's like we're building. Just like we're building with our models, we build with the lights. All right. Um, One of my favorite lights to use is something called the Sky Dome, and that is Arnold Lights. And click on Sky Dome, and what happens is it gives you this big dome right here. And what these lights are this. All right. So HDRIs are like environments that are wrapped around. It's like basically somebody takes a picture with the chrome ball of an environment. They capture all the lights from the clouds, from the roads, all the bounce lights, everything else, and they put it into a file, which then is used to illuminate these images. I mean, illuminate our 3D environments, kind of like this. So let's find one real quick. Let's go free HDRI. Oh, here's one I really like. Free HDRI Shanghai night. Ooh, spelled it all wrong. All right. Um, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go get this one's fine. You know, I'll just grab this one right here. 2K. 4K just means higher resolution. So this is now downloaded. Now let's put that light into Maya. All right. So this is our sky dome light. It's just like adding a texture. We go to color, click on this. We go to file, click on this. I'll go to my downloads. I'll get that light. So check this out. This is the dome, but this is the picture. So these lights from all these different areas are going to illuminate this whole thing. My whole what do you call it? All my geometry, right? But that's, I guess I'm just showing you this is what it is. And you can get these, there are all types of them. You can just go to free HDRI and find a bunch of them. And also what you can do is while you're in the world, if like one area has more shadows than the other, we can rotate this. So let's see what it looks like when we press play. Oh, it's overblown. It's too high, right? So in this case, we're going to, can I turn down exposure? No. Oh, I guess I can turn down exposure. I wouldn't want to do that, but looks like I can do that. I'd almost rather mess with intensity. But I'm gonna keep intensity on 1, and I'll just move this exposure down because it seems like it's just way too bright for this. Yeah. But now we're getting lighting from like this outdoor area. Um, and one more thing really quick just to show. This is with this light, the area light, and this dome light. So there's a way where I can disable, and this is how you kind of debug lighting. If you go to Arnold and you go to uh, oh, utilities, light manager. This comes up, right? So what this does, this E means enable. So I'll disable my other lights and just keep on my sky dome light. So I'll snapshot this just because. Press play. Because the less lights, the faster it goes. So what I like to do is I like to see what every single light does all by itself. And that kind of helps me because you don't want to like push something too far. I mean, you don't want to like have all the lights going, I guess, at once. And you want to make sure that every light looks good on its own. So I'll do a snapshot here with that. I'll cut off this. Let's enable this one. Yeah, it's all right. Nothing's really overblown, so I could keep that. And then I'll go to this, and we'll see this. Yeah, but I really like the way that looks. So, yeah, this is just a little introduction to lighting. Yeah, and yeah, so this is how you would debug. You would take each one and disable it and test render. And later on, I could tell you about the shaders because then we can make these like shiny, reflective, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But I kind of just want to get you to the introduction first. Only got about 2 minutes. So I guess this class, well, let me stop this. I will share still. Stop the record.